Hello, my name is Sydney Terrison. I'm the CEO of Astute Semantics, and today I'd like to show you some of the prototypes I've been working on. This prototype is an EWD-powered Fileman variant specifically tailored for the browser. Let's log in, shall we? After logging in, you're immediately presented with this search bar in which you can select a file. For example, the TIU document file. It's also retrievable by number. And if for some reason you wanted to add a new one, you could actually do that right here, rather than having to access your options first and get into the modify area. Let's do an example. And you'll notice that we actually have two files open at the same time. And we have the potential to handle even more. Let's take a look at Enter Edit. You'll note that your entries are presented to you in a data table format as opposed to what you're traditionally accustomed to here in the roll and scroll environment. Some of the luxuries of this format include the sortability, as well as the ability to expand the number of records shown at one time, and the capability to go back and forth, as well as rush to the last or first entries. One of the most powerful areas here would be the search bar, where, for example, if you wanted to limit all your returns to those of the month of April, or by patient, or document type, you could quickly do so all with one free text field. Let's make a selection. You'll notice that the default is all fields, but we have some other predefined field sets. Every file comes with a required fields template, and other templates that have been added on the course of its use throughout Vista have also been added. We can click these and see the changes in real time. However, we could start with a base subset in the form of one of these templates and either expand or reduce. And within this subset, we can use this filter fields to get exactly what we want. Pretty useful stuff. So let's go back to all fields and take a look at our help pop-up. And when it's empty, there is some dummy text here, which will be cleaned up before final release. You can kind of see the look and feel of that, and see how kind of some of the old fields, such as the date and time, have been updated. We'll just make these changes liberally, and then see if we can pull off a save. We'll see that Indeed, our episode begin date time has been adjusted, and our urgency is saved. And we can see those changes reflected in our traditional terminal here, as we had defined. At this point, we've already seen how pointers are handled and date fields are handled, and the other fields are rather intuitive. So, skipping ahead to multiples, let's go ahead and hop into a test file that's already been prepared. And here we have a multiple 1. And in our terminal here, we can kind of follow along. So there we have it, the fields within this multiple. And we see here that there's actually a multiple within a multiple, as is often the case, and that it's handled. So we want all these to be at least exposed anyway, and we'll deselect those and revert back to all fields while having it filtered for multiple, and then take a look. If we wanted to add an entry to this multiple, we could click this button. So we'll see, just as we expected, multiple 1, a free text field, and then the multiple within the multiple labeled multiple level 2, and of course its entries. If we wish to go a layer deeper, we could. And to show that within the terminal environment, give me one moment. Here's our next layer. Multiple level 2, document, free text, etc. And even yet another layer deeper. We're free to edit these throughout and save. And let's change the name of this oddly named multiple to an even more random yet poker influenced name, all in, and see the change. And let's say we wanted to track this down in our terminal. And here's all in the terminal environment as well. Let's take a look at modify. What we have here is good old option 4 with a twist. And for our test file here, you'll note on the left hand side that the fields are listed in a tree fashion, as was the case in enter edit, and their field type is actually highlighted here in these boxes. You can select each field and disregard the file file-wide data to kind of take a closer look at the details of your selected field. You also notice the cross-references are listed, and that you could reindex, all from here. And let's say we wanted to edit. This number file called moon2. We could change its type. So let's say free text, and then define its minimum and maximum length. And what we're seeing here is a Screen Man emulation. And we could even enter some pattern matching as well. And these fields are optional. You can see here we can make this a mandatory field. And we could edit the help prompt that will appear. Go ahead and save. Let's check on that. And we'll see that moon2 is no longer a number field. It has the help that we defined, plus some bonus text for a bug that will be fixed later. And we can go ahead and see that it's adhering to the specifications that we defined. It's a required field, and it can't be longer than 50 characters, or 40 I believe. And there you go. And of course the corresponding changes have been made in the terminal. Let's add a field. We could really pick anything here. Let's do a set field. And we have a brand new field whose data we can review and then go ahead and confirm its existence in the enter edit area. And there's our new field.